Okay. Good morning. Good morning. So, we're going to get started, and some of us in the room know the mantra that we begin our Sunday morning classes with, and some of you don't. So, um, you're going to hear from what I can produce at this time, which my voice has been suffering for the last few weeks after a virus. and I think we're all good to go. So let's sit down. Much better. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's start seated. Um, you can sit on a blanket. You can sit on the blocks. We will sound Om together. And what's so beautiful is it is going to be like we're in the same room. We can't hear each other, but if we get really quiet, really still, you might be able to hear internally other voices that are joining you. So let's close our eyes, move the shoulders, see if there's something that would help you be more comfortable so that you can sit taller. And let's allow for some clearing breaths. So any motion to you, any um, fears, anxieties, doubts, we're going to allow that to dissipate. And so we'll take some clearing breaths in through and release out the mouth. So, first in this clearing, releasing out through the mouth and letting go and letting all of these harmful thoughts and feelings be released. We can acknowledge them, but let's clear our bodies and minds of them. Now, after that, we feel a sense of relaxation to some degree, but after we clear, we want to fill. So, we're going to just, with the inhale, draw in air through. And as you exhale, absorb love into every cell of your being. We're going to sit another moment and just absorbing love, inhaling, drawing it in through the energy that rides the breath, cosmic energy. And on the exhale, allowing that love, that cosmic energy to be absorbed into every cell of your being and all the subtle realms of your being, so that in soul, in mind, all of this love is completely felt. I just want to read a small portion of something that I read in my morning reading today from The Divine Romance by Paramahansa Yogananda. It's very simple. He says, "There is no excuse for being restless within. If you are always calm, you will also be more efficient. And if you want to wake up from this cosmic dream world, you must practice calmness, no matter what happens. As soon as your mind becomes restless, give it a whack with your will and order it to be calm." So let us go into that state for the duration of our practice and for beyond that. This is training for beyond this practice. And so we'll begin by coming into Ujjayi, pranayama, victorious breath. First, let's take a clearing breath in through the nostrils. Exhale, release out through the mouth. And now getting ready, inhale through the nostrils. Open the mouth, fog it out like you're fogging a mirror. Mouth stays open, fog inwardly. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. Feel the quality of breath has changed. Even inhaling and feeling that fogging sensation, you can feel it through the throat. And at this time, we'll create the sound of Om together 3 times, followed by Shiva mantra. I'll give you the translation for our mantra, and to hold that in our hearts, that's our dedication. This is our reason, our intention for moving forward in this practice today. I bow to the presence of the divine within, of God within, our true and highest teacher, that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. Let that feeling of peace radiating come through in these next sounds of Om that we create together. So we'll take a deep breath in. And then another sound of Om at a higher note. Om. Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's begin to move our bodies at this time. So we're going to shift over out of seated to hands and knees, and we'll bring wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. So once you're here, just notice, let's start slow. Let's start to kind of move through the hips. You might circle the hips. So before even moving into a cat-cow or anything like that, just find some movement. And as you do, I will be getting up now and then. I need to just make sure there's no correspondence that I need to be aware of from any of you all in terms of technical aspects. So it looks good so far. So keep moving, keep allowing for just a natural, organic checking in and noticing any wrists crackling. If you pick up a hand and move around the wrist, if you pick up a leg and move the ankle around, and just notice and be with all of the sounds of the body and all of the sensations. And then from here, let's go ahead and We'll find a child's posture first. So let's bring the knees apart, bring the big toes together. And we're going to go into child's posture a little differently. I actually woke up this morning. I got onto the floor and I just took my arms right through under the trunk and maybe even held the feet. You can hold the feet and then just turn one side of the face to the mat. And we'll take a few deep breaths here as you continue to just release through the trunk and notice how the low back is feeling. And then we'll switch the direction of the face right in the other way. Being with every feeling that occurs as we are in our postures and in our breath. And then we'll go ahead and unweave the arms, take them through to forward with the palms down. And let's look forward past the hands, feel the neck arch. We're going to walk over to the carpet. Oh, well, I have carpet. I don't know what you have. We'll walk over to off of the mat. And the trunk is going to follow. So, not just the arms, the trunk moves with the arms. Another deep breath. We'll walk over to the left, all the way off the mat. And then we'll come back to center. And from our child's posture, we'll rise up to table. Coming back to wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Now, if you have wrist issues, I know um, I heard that that's going on for some. So you can come to the forearms if the wrists are bothering you. If it's possible, you can also find fists, and then that way the wrists are straight, they're not flexed. And so in the inhale, we'll find expansion in the lungs, right? Really fill up. And then on the exhale, empty the lungs completely. And with that, the belly will contract. So in our cat cow, we aren't forcing spine up and down. We're expanding the lungs and relaxing the belly. And on the exhale, we're contracting the lungs to get all the air out. Belly contracts. Inhaling and exhaling. Just continue this on your own and feel the rhythmic quality between the breath and the body. And then we will find a neutral table posture and still maintaining the rhythmic breath, so that rhythmic quality of the breath, so that at any point, if the breath becomes unrhythmic, if it starts to have an uneven inhalation to exhalation, then we want to come back. We want to notice and come back. That's part of the practice, is noticing and coming back. Let's take the right leg and lift it behind and press through the heel. And so from here, you can probably feel the calf, maybe for the first time today. We're going to point and flex the foot, remembering I'd like to be on my forearms. So I'm just going to go there if that's available. Point and flex the foot. And now you might start to notice that you have a bottom. Your glutes are starting to fire up, and we tend to underuse them. We need to use them more. They're there for a reason, for lifting heavy objects, not using the back so much, using the bottom to help us. So we'll just take a couple more of these movements. Now, maybe let's move through the ankle in circles a couple times one way or more than that, and a few times the other way. And as either you're on hands or forearms, go ahead and bring the right knee down and just take a moment to notice now what has occurred between the two legs, how things feel a little different and imbalanced. And then we'll go ahead and lift that left leg and press through the heel. And then again, we'll point and flex a few times. Now, as you're here, just be mindful that you aren't sinking into the shoulder girdle because then we're getting lazy in certain areas of the body. And I think we tend to just kind of do that. We want to make sure that we don't get lazy in any area and that we stay calm yet active, active and calm. And we can rotate through the foot and find circles. And noticing now this side is starting to become much more active and noticeable. And then we'll go ahead and bring this knee down. Let's return back to child's posture just for about 5 breaths. So what we just were really activating is now going to stretch just a little bit more than before. And let's take a clearing breath together. So next inhalation, fill. And then exhale, release out through the mouth. Finding everlasting calm within. And then when you're ready, we'll rise back up to table posture, hands and knees. Let's come up to the knees. Let's come up to the knees and find hands to the hips for a moment. And let's take some pelvic tilts as we're here. So just that idea of kind of relaxing a little too much. So we relax, the tailbone comes outwards. It's a anterior pelvic tilt. And then we'll draw it inwardly and come to posterior. So we pull the pelvis in and squeeze the glutes. And let's just do this a few more times. So relaxing. Now, if we walk around like this, we'll have backaches all day. And then if we come inwards, if we walk around like this, we'll have problems all day. So it's always finding that balance right in between, always that evenness. And just take a few more so that we can strengthen in this area. And then from here, we'll find just a very gentle camel posture. So we have hands to the hips, but we can take them a little further back towards the sacrum. And then from here, pull the pelvis in so that our glutes are active, and then start to stretch the heart upwards. So some might be ready to take hands to the heels. If you've been there before and want to be there, you can surely be there. If you feel good with hands to hips, we're just going to take a couple more deep breaths. And then into a neutral spine. Come back to table posture, hands and knees. A few cat-cows here. We're going nice and slow. And then back to neutral table posture. So from here, let's inhale the right leg behind, just like we did before. Press through the heel. And then this time, let's bring the right foot down to the mat, turn the toes to the right, and also let the left foot travel to the left. So the left knee stays exactly where it was. We're going to bring the right arm up and come into a modified side plank. Now, for those who are very comfortable with the full side plank, you can take left foot behind the right foot. Otherwise, keep the knee down. And if you have the knee down and want a little bit more challenge, feel free to lift the right leg. Now, And feel the arms really drawing away from each other, broadening the chest, squeezing the upper back to create strength there. Another deep breath. And then we'll exhale the right hand down, bring the right knee down, and then we'll switch, extending the left leg behind and pressing through the heel. Another full breath. So we're going to bring the left foot down, and then left toes face left, kickstand the right foot to the right, inhale the left arm up. Maybe full side plank, maybe you lift that left leg. This can also be done on the forearm if needed. Forearm is always available, just about. Another deep breath. Exhale. Lower the hand and the knee down. And then we have two options. We have many more than that, but we have two for where we're going right now. So you can either find a heart chakra pose. So this is good for people who really don't want to be on the hands, on the wrists. You can take the arms forward, the hands forward, and bring the forehead down to the mat or to a block. Or if you want a little bit more activity, you're going to step the hands forward one step, roll over the toes, and lift up into downward facing dog. And then wherever you are, just be there and explore. And both of these postures have this really long back rather than a rounded back, So we have the tailbone going back and up in both postures, and we have the heart pressing down away from the tailbone in both postures. So whether the heart is getting closer to the mat or in a downward facing dog, the heart is getting closer to the thighs. Not really, right? But they're pressing towards the thighs. But the same principle. And that's why both of those are kind of comparable. Just one is less weight bearing. So we'll take 3 more deep breaths. Now we're going to get ready for standing posture. So if you're in Anahatasana heart chakra posture with the forehead down, rise up to table posture. And all of us from here will step forward to the top of the mat and come into a forward fold. You can also jump too. I'm going to separate the feet to the edges of the mat. Let's hang loose today. So we're just going to let the arms and the head hang loose. You could bend the knees and just feel that the trunk, you could totally let go of the trunk, right? Tension occurs when we're holding our grip. That grip is really, really tight, or even just somewhat tight. Like right here, we don't have to hold on to the trunk at all. Deactivate intentionally. Deactivate the head intentionally. Maybe shake the head out so that you can remember, it's loose, it's relaxed, and then let it go completely. Let's bend the knees. Now let's practice that the arms and the trunk and the head are totally relaxed, let go of. But now we're going to slowly articulate the spine to come to standing. The arms and the head are just going to stay until the shoulders rise. So they're just going to be deactivated. So begin to unfold. Arms dangling loose. Knees are bent to help us with this. Head relaxed, neck relaxed. Once shoulders rise, head comes up. And let's just take a moment to adjust to standing. You might roll the shoulders. You might just kind of wait for the change of blood flow to settle. Whenever I had children, not long after those, they all were C-sections. My blood circulation was so poor. I always got very dizzy when I would rise, and I had to take moments so that I wouldn't actually like fall. So I'm really sensitive to that. So we'll go ahead and just move the shoulders a little bit more. Maybe notice some crackling. Maybe move the head. Maybe take some circles with the head. Say a few more breaths, a little bit more movement and exploration. So from here, let's bring the feet so that they're hip distance apart if you haven't already. We're going to take the shoulders up, back, and down. And so let's turn the palms forward. So palms forward and fingers are nice and wide. And then notice what's happening with the pelvis. We took some pelvic tilts earlier. Relax the pelvis, see what happens. Now pull the pelvis in, engage the glutes, engage the thighs, thighs pull up. All these little details are so important. It's part of the practice. We'll take a couple deep breaths here. The heart forward, the palms forward, the crown of the head reaching upwards, the soles of the feet pressing downwards. We can feel energy moving through us in different directions. Okay. The next inhalation, reach the arms upwards. You can keep the fingers spread wide, reach the arms upwards, let the head come back slightly, and then exhale, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. A few more of these. Inhaling, arms come down around the thighs, take the arms upwards. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. A few more. One more full movement. And this time we'll take the arms upwards towards the sky. And on the exhale, find a side bend to the right. We'll be here for a few breaths. So you can bring the right hand down to the right, left arm up and over, and feel through. Maybe you can even feel it from the knee or all the way down to the ankle, the stretching up into the side body, out through the left arm. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, over to the left. Keep both feet grounded. Pretty much the weight is the same in both of the feet as from when you were standing. So we aren't really shifting weight into one foot. And then we'll inhale, come to center, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. In the next exhalation, step the left foot to the back of the mat. And I think we'll start with the ball of the foot on the mat. So we'll come into a crescent warrior. So we have right foot planted, but the back heel is lifted. Okay, and just notice here. Okay, take the shoulders back and down. We don't have to take the arms up. Let's actively keep them in this position and really pay attention to the feet. And in fact, start to press down into the feet for a moment. So as you're pressing down into the feet, now start to draw the feet towards each other and notice what muscles become activated. And then just relax that and then do it again. Let's do that 3 times. So pressing down into the feet and drawing them towards each other and then relaxing. Once again. And relaxing. And then let's relax into this lunge for 2 more deep breaths. Maybe after that you feel like you can take that back foot further back. And from here, to step forward, you can bring the trunk forward first a little bit, and then go ahead and lift the left foot and step it up to the top of the mat. So let's notice the difference, the feeling between the right and the left glutes, the legs, and then we're going to switch. So we'll take right foot to the back of the mat. And we situate the legs, back leg is straight. We're always building a structure. We want this structure to be a sound structure so that we don't topple over, but if we do, it's okay. We learn how to fall properly. Palms together, thumbs to the heart center, upper body active yet calm and relaxed. Now we start to press down into the feet and get a little bit more active in the feet, and then draw the feet towards each other. Notice what becomes more active, especially in the right leg. And then go ahead and relax that and take that 2 more times, pressing in, drawing in towards each other in the feet. It's hardly noticeable as we see on the outside, but we can feel it internally. Once again. And then just relax into this lunge, maybe separate the feet. We'll take a couple deep breaths. So to step forward again, you might slant the trunk forward a bit and then step your right foot up. Oh, it's so hard to do this on carpet. So much cushion. Cushion makes this a lot more challenging. Okay, so the next inhalation, let's reach the arms upwards. And then on the exhale, find side bends to each side. So we'll exhale to the right, inhale center, exhale left. Inhale, come to center, look upwards. Exhale, fold forward over the legs, come all the way down. Now you might have the feet hips distance apart, they might be together, or you might start to heel toe them apart and bring the feet to the edges of the mat so that we could feel now some changes from when we were here earlier. This will be a nice spot for a twist. So in a moment, if you have a block, you're gonna find your block. Potentially, you may not need it. And we will heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat if they aren't there already, so we can find a twist. So the left fingertips might plant right underneath the heart. You can bend the left knee and then inhale the right arm up. The other option, of course, is to have hand to the block. You can have the palm down. Or if it's hard to get to the floor, you can bring your left elbow to the left knee and keep reaching the right arm upwards. And so let's turn the head a couple times. So we'll look left and turn the head right, turn the head left, and then right, looking upwards. Pressing into the right hip. Take a nice circle or two with this right arm. So like kind of without tension. So kind of like a flowy fluid feeling with this right arm. After you go through both sides, then go ahead and just release the right arm, straighten both of the legs, come to a fold for a moment. And then we're going to switch. So we'll come up halfway, bend the right knee, plant the right hand or fingertips underneath the heart, and then inhale the left arm upwards. You can turn the head a few times. And then looking upwards. Notice the left shoulder. Make sure that that shoulder blade is drawing downwards so that the top of the shoulder doesn't come up towards the neck. Refraining from creating tension anywhere in the body in our practice. And then again, this nice loose kind of circle with the left arm. And then we'll release the left arm. And we're folding a little bit more here. Let's see about straightening the legs and straightening the arms. So if we have the palms down and the feet planted, straight limbs, we might have to take the arms, forward, kind of as if we were coming into a downward facing dog, but we want to have the feet planted. I'm sorry, the feet planted and the weight in the feet, not really in the arms at all. You can let the head go. Take about 5 deep breaths. Now is a great time for a squat, isn't it? So we're going to come up halfway and then we'll start to lower the bottom and bend the knees. So we're going to come into a squat. So there's different variations. Let's see if we can keep the feet planted. You might have elbows on top of thighs. You might lower the hips as, fairly low and pry the knees open. And for all of us, really, it's a good idea to get some resistance into this one so that you're pressing the elbows into the inner knees and you push the legs into the elbows. Then you do this on the inhale, and on the exhale, relax the legs and kind of pry them open with the knees a little bit more. So this will help open up tense areas. So we go ahead and create resistance, push the legs and arms into each other, and then exhale, release, and open a little bit more. We'll just do this one more time. And then let's take 3 deep breaths in an active yet calm and relaxed position. I know for some of us, squats are not easy. It's hard to be calm and relaxed in these situations, but this is the point of our practice, is to be able to master that. So one more deep breath. Now, we're all at home, so if we fall and look hilarious, it's okay. We're gonna see if we can actually come to seated from here. So maybe take hands behind and then just lower your bottom and find a seat. Let's cross the ankles. You can have foot in front of shin. I'm gonna face you. You can have a foot in front of a shin, or you can have ankles crossed. You can also sit on top of a blanket if you're tight in the back body. All those same things we always talk about. Right from here, drop the chin to the chest. Shake the head out. Let's take a clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just let the head rock a little bit side to side. So it's like this movement that starts small and begins to get a little bigger every time. So at some point the head drops and then the ear comes closer towards the shoulder and then to the other side. Okay, and then we'll allow this to turn into a very big circle all the way around the top of the spine, all the way around the neck. Nice big circle. Let's go 3 times one way. And the shoulders stay fairly still. It's the head moving, the neck moving. And once you find chin to chest, then we'll start to move the other way. Still coordinating breath and movement. After all those rounds, drop the head, shake it out. Drop the shoulders and bring the head to center. Switch the order of the pulse. And let's do a little bit more work with the neck before we go further. And we're going to take this class, I think, to at least 11:15 because we did start a little late. I hope that's okay for you all. We'll get close to that. I'd go longer if I know that you're all good with it. So we'll see what happens. Let's take the shoulders up, back, and then down. And then from here, we'll drop, well, not drop, we'll let the head come over to the left. So we're tilting the head to the left. And then this right shoulder, begin to circle the right shoulder. And you'll notice, one arm is going to be different than the other. My left arm is always the different arm, the one that suffers a little bit more. I carry a bag on that arm. That's my yoga bag arm. And so it always has more issues. And this is part of our awareness is learning how to not create those conditions. So we're going to drop the shoulder and then let's just sit right on top of the hand. So we're sitting on top of the right hand, the head is tilted to the left. Take some deep breaths. The next couple breaths, inhaling love through the body, and the exhale, absorbing it in every particle of our being, seen and the unseen. And we're going to slowly bring the head back to center. Release the hand from your seat. Go ahead and find a little bit of movement with the head. And then, drop the shoulders, bring the head to center, and just be aware of the left shoulder, left side of the neck, right side of the neck. Soften the muscles in the face. And then let's start with the other side. So we'll tilt the head to the right. This left shoulder, you can start to circle. And then we'll go ahead and sit right on top of the left hand, keeping the head tilted to the right. Close the eyes, keep the jaw relaxed, keep the eyes relaxed, keep the muscles in the face soft, the space between the eyebrows just gently relaxed, not furrowing, temple soft. And then focusing the breath. So as we inhale cosmic energy, we draw in what is a part of that, and that is love. And as we exhale, we absorb that into our being entirely. Another breath. And inhale the head back to center. Release the hand. Take some movement. So at first it might feel like a little slow movement with the head. We probably open new spaces. So you want to move into them carefully. Okay. And then we're going to extend. We'll find our tall seat. Bring the head back to neutral. Extend the left leg forward. and bring the right foot. Let's take both legs forward actually to start. Let's take both legs forward. So we have the knees bent to start, toes pulled back. Find the spine nice and tall. Now, this is a good place for us to experiment. If you straighten the legs, notice the spine, what happens. You start to feel more strain in the spine. So go ahead and bend the knees again and see what that does for the spine. And then straighten the legs, see what it does. Notice where there's like that tension occurring as you straighten the legs. So let's start with bent knees. And then if you feel like straightening is appropriate for you, then you'll straighten. But in the next inhale, take the arms out and up. On the exhale, bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Next inhale, arms go up and then look upwards. On the exhale, fold. We'll come into Paschimottanasana, letter A. Grasp the big toes with the peace fingers. So we have knees bent to start. Okay, we're going to notice the arms. If the arms feel like they're pulling and the back is pulling, then just walk the feet in a little closer and keep the heart fairly lifted and the shoulders back. And then on the exhale, as you breathe out, you'll bend the elbows to get closer, to get the trunk closer to the legs. Trunk closer to the legs. Inhaling, straighten the arms. Exhale, trunk closer to the legs. So what we can do is as we move through this, we're going to continue this. Inhaling, straightening arms. Exhaling, bending elbows to lower the trunk and feel more opening in the back of the legs. Continue this, but as you go through, you'll notice that you can start to straighten the legs a little bit more, and with every breath, you can make an adjustment. So let's be here for a minute, just going through, breathing, lifting, pulling away from the situation, and then exhaling, entering the situation again once we've gained some perspective. Inhaling, exhaling. Close the eyes and just be with this completely. At some point, you may feel ready to stay in the situation, and there you can breathe and let the trunk move with the breath naturally. Next two breaths, let them be clearing breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. All the way. Inhaling. Exhale all the way till you can't exhale anymore. And then release this by letting the arms come down and then rounding the back, letting the head go. And feeling how good it is to have to be able to deactivate intentionally. We're not getting lazy, we're just deactivating on purpose. Two more deep breaths like this. Now, as we did before, we're going to unroll the spine, but it's the spine that's moving here, and the arms and the head are just following because they're attached to the trunk. And once the head comes up, then we've arrived to seated. From here, we'll take a twist. Marichyasana, letter C. Keep the left leg straight, plant the right foot down next to the left knee. or it could be by the calf, it could be lower towards the lower leg. And we'll inhale the right arm upwards, look upwards. Exhale, plant the right palm behind, fingers face back. Not too far back, close enough to the hip. Inhale the left arm up, look upwards. Exhale, hook the left elbow outside the knee. Get tall first. You might want to notice you're slouching. You're going to get really tall, lift the heart, and then press into the elbow to twist to the right. This is one where people tend to rely too much on the right arm. They tend to go very far back. See if you could keep this right arm propped up like it's a second spine. And then as we're here twisting, you can turn the head left and right a couple times. And then continue to turn the head to the right and let the eyes go as far right as they can. So we're exercising the eyes. Flex the left foot. Send the crown of the head upwards even though the face is turning to the right. Press the right knee inwards. Notice the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, and the crown of the head. And we'll inhale, come to center. Okay, let's switch sides. Right leg extends forward, left foot plants. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left palm down, fingers face back. Inhale, right arm up, look upwards. Exhale, right elbow outside the left knee. Get tall, and then twist. So from here, we're pushing into that knee, and we're flexing the right foot. So the question is, as you let's go ahead and move the head side to side a couple times. And then continue to look to the left. So we want to keep the shoulders fairly level with each other. Keep the left shoulder blade back and down. What do you do with this right hand? I forgot to mention before, there's many things we can do. We can keep the fingers just kind of spread away from each other. We can create mudras. This is knowledge hand gesture, thumb and first finger together. Fearlessness hand gesture. All of the fingers are kind of glued together, and the thumb as well, getting closer to the palm. Eyes are as far left as you can take them. We'll take another breath or so. And then inhale, come to center. Okay, let's fold no, let's come to our backs actually. I'm going to be taking this thing off, so I hope I don't have any issues with that. I can go on my back with you. And then once we're on the back, we'll draw the knees into the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. And rock a little side to side. If you close the eyes, rocking side to side, maybe you notice that the body has received from you. And it has received from your will, from your effort, a universal energy that is in all life. Let's bring the arms to a T and find a little bit of a twist here. Take the knees over to the right. Bring the right hand on top of the left knee. Put a little gentle pressure. And then turn the head to the left. We're going to inhale. Bring the knees to center. This is a good spot to bring the feet down and readjust the hips because they move a little bit with those twists. Bring the knees in. And then arms to a T again, knees to the left, the right hand or the left hand on top of the right knee. Turn the head to the right. We'll bring the knees back to center, draw them in, and then set the feet down. Let's find a bridge posture, Setu Bandhasana. And since this is always a good one to kind of explore and experiment, I always say, since you're in the privacy of your own home, you may feel more comfortable to do that. So we're going to walk the shoulders back towards each other. And then notice where the feet are. So commonly people take the feet out too wide, right? And then also people bring the feet together and that's too narrow. We're building a sound structure, so we have to make sure the posts are placed properly. So walk the feet inwards towards the bottom. You should be able to feel the heels against the bottom. Okay, shoulders go back, pull the pelvis in like we did before, and then feel like the pelvic bone is leading the way as it lifts upwards. And then continue to walk shoulders towards each other. And then we'll feel that the glutes are active, the back body, the core are all active. For tight shoulders, remember elbows pressed down. This is a good time to look just in case, just be mindful of the neck. And then you have forearms lifted. That's good for tight shoulders. For more open, you can interlace fingers, press the arms down from shoulders to hands. And we're going to take 2 variations today. So we're drawing the knees in towards each other as well. And you can feel parts of the hips and thighs get really active. Feel the belly move with the breath. Another deep breath. Release the arms and lower. So this time, let's take 3. This time I'm going to hold my ankles. And so see if you want to do that with me. And if you feel like it's not working out, you're going to go back to the other variation. So the next inhale, start to lift back up, pelvis pulls in. And then we're holding ankles. And this takes much more on the back. So a couple more deep breaths. And release, lower. The next one will be more of a passive back bend. We're going to have hands to the sacrum. It's going to be a deeper back bend though. So when you're ready, inhale, start to lift the hips, elbows stay down. You're going to bring the hands, right, the palms right underneath that bone. And then from here, we'll take a few deep breaths. And again, if this doesn't work, take another variation that does. Back bends are really good for the immune system. So we want to bring these in. They also help with back pain because we tend to be too weak in many areas of our backs, so we need to strengthen. Release the hands. When the spine is strong, the body is strong. Oh, we'll release the legs. Take the legs and extend them forward. Reach the arms back. And then we're going to plant the left foot. Plant the left foot. Take the right leg upwards. Right leg upwards. And hold the right leg with the hands. Now we'll flex and point this foot a few times. We're almost ready to rest. I actually have my singing bowls in this room, and I think if I were to take this microphone off and use the camera microphone, they might actually sound through, but I don't know. And I'd love if that was possible so that you can hear them as you rest. Now we're going to flex the foot and keep drawing the leg inwards and maybe lift the head and walk the trunk up toward closer towards the leg. And this left leg can just stay bent for now. Maybe if the foot is available, I'm going to take a couple more deep breaths. This right foot is going to go on top of the left thigh, so we can come to reclining pigeons posture. Okay, so from here, we have right ankle on top of left thigh, flex the right foot, and then pick up the left leg so you can thread the hands underneath right arm between the 2 legs. And then we're holding the back of the leg, left leg, as we're pulling it in and increasing the stretch of the right hip. Or you can take hands towards the shin or knee for more intensity. Let's focus on deep, consistent, smooth breaths. Even inhalation to exhalation. Still like we're fogging a mirror, but the lips are sealed. 2 more deep breaths. And we'll release. Okay. Let's plant the right foot. Straighten the left leg on the mat and then lift the left leg upwards. And we'll hold the left leg with the hands. And so we're going to start first by exploring with the foot, circling, pointing, flexing. And then we can flex and be with the discomfort in the leg. You know, it's there. We recognize it's uncomfortable. And we can stay calm in that discomfort and breathe in it and through it. Continuously connected to cosmic energy, love, and peace, and discomfort. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. So from here, we'll move into our pigeon's posture. Take the left ankle on top of the right thigh. This knee, left knee, you're pressing it away from you. And then we're flexing the left foot, and we'll pick up the right leg and hold the right leg with the arms. Balancing the work that we've done with the legs. We've done some strengthening there today at the bottom. We want to stretch these areas out, open them up, and let cosmic energy flow through them more easily. At least 5 more focused deep breaths. Let's take a clearing breath here. Draw air in through the nose. Release through the mouth. And we'll start to release out of this. Bring both of the knees into the chest, a little rocking side to side. We'll find a spinal twist again. Arms to a T. Let the knees come over to the right. Keep the shoulder blades down. Turn the head away from the knees. Soften the gaze. So still feeling eyes relaxed, releasing any strain in the eyes. Bring the knees to center and take the knees over to the left. We'll turn the head to the right. And we're preparing for Shavasana at this time. So we'll bring the knees back to center and you can draw them in, bring the hands in, and you want to align the hips with the shoulders. And then we'll prepare ourselves to rest. And in rest is restoring, restore. It is built into that word. So let's allow the feet to relax completely to the corners of the mat, to the legs can relax more when the feet are separated. And then we'll just let the toes turn outward away from each other. There's nowhere to walk to at this time. There's nothing to stand on. Right now, the whole body is being supported as we can deactivate the body. And know that Earth isn't going to turn around and the body is going to flip over. We are clearly here resting on a balanced floor that is supported by a balanced earth beneath us. And we'll take the arms and release them so that the hands are somewhat away from the trunk and the palms are flipped upwards so we can feel that the hands are empty. There's nothing to hold in the hands. There's nothing to do with the hands. This is the time for hands and feet to restore so that when it is time to take things up into them and to walk on the feet, they're ready and they're prepared and they can calmly move forward. So now they are relaxed, restoring. We let go of them completely. Relax the low back. Relax the shoulders. Maybe even walk the shoulder blades a little towards each other and then relax the upper back. Let the head feel heavier. Let the hands feel heavier. Let the feet feel heavier. All the muscles in the face are relaxing. Find a clearing breath. And if you feel comfortable, let voice come out through the mouth. And we'll do this 3 times. So on the inhale, draw air in through the nose. Exhale, sighing out. 2 more times. As you find your way into a deeper rest, might begin by allowing the sensation opening the crown of the head, opening the crown of the head, and feeling cosmic energy, divine love entering through the crown of the head. And like a liquid light of relaxation, it starts to fill through the skull, the neck, the shoulders, down the arms, into the hands, the fingertips, and the palms. And you feel another rush of that liquid relaxation moving down through the skull, the neck, the trunk, through the chest, the back, the solar plexus, mid back, belly, lower back, moving down into the hips, filling the pelvis, filling the legs completely, and the thighs, the knees, lower legs, the ankles, the feet, the toes, the soles of the feet. Being here fully at peace and allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper as you come into that ever existing peace within. Before you change anything, just be aware and notice. Notice the peaceful state of the body. Notice the peaceful state of the mind. Remembering that this place of peace is always within us and we can be in it at any time. And maintain that, but begin to become more active, breathing more deeply again. If you're happy to lie down, you can still lie down, and I'll still, walk the rest of us out of this as we move the hands and the feet. You might take the arms and reach them behind. You can bring the knees into the chest, arms around the knees, rocking a little side to side, waking up. And then finding your way up to seated. So we're going to conclude our practice today with Mangala Mantra. This is mantra for it's auspiciousness. So it's the success, not just for ourselves, but for the world. And so we know that the world needs a little bit of extra loving thoughts and prayers and um, good wishes for all people, for all sentient beings, and for their happiness, for the freedom from suffering, which we're all, striving for. And so just remembering the world, all the beings within, as we move to this. Some of us know this mantra. You can chant it with me. We've been learning it together. And we'll just start with a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Svasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahi mahisha Brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti. Deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace in all the realms. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. I know this was a longer practice, so feel free to, if you have any comments, if you'd like to share anything with me, you can, um, send me an email. You can chat in here if you'd like. I'm still around. And like I said, I do plan on doing more of these. If people would like to join me, then that's wonderful. So thank you. Namaste. Please do let me know if there were any technical issues. All of that kind of stuff will help me. And I do hope that one day I can actually have a program that I can see those people who are taking the class and I can offer verbal adjustments and things like that. But I don't know. We'll see if that's possible. Okay. Namaste.